So, talking a little bit about the idea behind formal walking and sitting meditation practice. So, nowadays we associate meditation very much with sitting meditation. But in the Mahasi tradition, we practice both with walking meditation and with sitting meditation. The Buddha in the Satipatthana clearly states that we should practice awareness in all postures. So the four basic postures of which the Buddha details is walking, sitting, lying, and standing. In walking and sitting meditation, we work with standing, walking, and sitting. In the Buddha's lifetime, the way he encouraged people to practice, because they were his followers, his disciples, they were kind of walking around a lot, doing a lot of alms rounds, begging for the food. So they were traveling through India, so they were doing a lot of walking meditation all the time. And only when they would stop to rest, they would do some sitting meditation. But it's clear that the Buddha wants us to practice in all postures. So in the Mahasi tradition, in the tradition that uses the noting, labeling technique, we practice in formal periods of walking meditation, which always precedes the sitting meditation. In the walking meditation, we are kind of getting the engine going, getting the engine of awareness, of mindfulness going. So there's this process, we start with standing, there's this process of settling. In walking meditation, we keep our eyes open but slightly lowered. The experience of the body is a bit louder because we are doing this kind of movement. So there's these sensations of this movement and the sensation of the foot touching, which helps us to focus on the body foundation. It also tends to increase the energy. So sitting tends to kind of bring more tranquility, whereas walking brings more energy in the mind, energy which is required for the practice. The practice we shouldn't so much be falling asleep in, but that's why it's especially good in the morning to start with walking meditation, and in the evening to start with walking meditation so we don't fall asleep. Besides that, walking meditation is also a very good practice for your life, because often in life we are walking. We are walking from A to B, walking to the bathroom, walking to the kitchen, walking to public transport, walking in the park. And so we're practicing this walking, being mindful of walking in a formal, controlled setting where we don't get so distracted by things. The sitting meditation is where we then, after the walking, go a bit deeper. So in sitting, there's more opportunity for concentration and stability, because we don't have these other stimuli of visual, of focusing on our path. And the mind becomes louder because the body is still, the sensations are not as loud in sitting, the body sensations. And so the mind, we get to observe the mind and its workings. In sitting, there's more opportunity for stability and tranquility to develop because we have the stillness of the body. So walking meditation gets the momentum going, and in sitting we drop it, we do less, and we just observe the body and mind doing its thing. So it's very important. So in this course we have these 2 hours per day, which is quite a lot to practice. It is, especially if you're used to 10 minutes or even 0 minutes, going up to 2 hours can be quite a lot. But it's very important to keep this frame, because these 2 hours are there for a reason. We cannot get the depth and the subtlety of this practice by just doing 10 minutes. 10 minutes of meditation is great if you don't have much time, but as you sign up for this course, I'm encouraging you and I'm creating the space for you to really practice more time, to go deeper, to develop the insight. And we need to practice more to firstly create the habit of awareness, of mindfulness, and also to start to see more subtlety. Your concentration will rise in these 7 weeks. Your awareness will rise. You will see yourself deeper on the cushion. You will see yourself more outside in life when you're engaging with things. And it is this awareness which is transformative. When we bring things to the light of consciousness, transformation is bound to appear, bound to occur, because we become more aware of the things that we always do at a subconscious level, and the things that we do on a physical level, the things we do on a thought level, on a speech level, that usually are just gut reactions, start to become more conscious. There's more space, less reactivity, more response ability. So that's why we're practicing for 2 hours. I cannot say enough how important this practice is, these 2 hours of practice time. We are taking a strong determination together to practice for 7 weeks straight, 2 hours every day. If you miss one session, it's not the end of the world. Just start again. But we should have the strong determination to do it. I am also doing the 2 hours a day. At first it seems like a lot, but then it creates more and more space and time in your day, because your mind is clearer, more efficient, more sharp, doesn't get so distracted with random things we worry and fret about, which takes up our energy and time. There's more space, more simplicity in the mind to work, to relate, to communicate, to everything gets better, trust me. But we need some time to create this habit. In the beginning, everything will rebel against these 2 hours, We could be doing that instead, this instead, but so important. The last thing I want to say is this 1 hour practice periods are 1 hour continuous mindfulness periods. The priority during this 1 hour is the practice of mindfulness and awareness. So don't give importance to thinking about things, don't give importance to planning something. Even if you have such great ideas during your meditation, don't give importance to them. The priority in sitting and walking meditation is to be aware of body and mind. The transition between walking and sitting is also very important, because what usually happens is we do the walking, the bell goes, we kind of drop the effort and we just go to sitting, and then we interrupt the process and we kind of have to start over. But if we can continuously be aware, even in a transition, the momentum keeps building throughout the sitting as well, and it takes us deeper into our experience. And there's a certain threshold also, which I'll talk about more in coming weeks, a certain threshold of mindfulness. When you reach this threshold, you start to see truths which you cannot unsee, which take you to a deeper understanding, deeper intuitive understanding of your nature, which start to shift deeply the way you perceive experience and become more accessible to you, especially in times when you are with more dukkha, with more suffering, with more dissatisfaction, discontentment in life. You can switch into that way. But there's a threshold, and that's why we're practicing 2 hours a day, for you all to reach this threshold, for you all to see clearly the experience. Thank you so much, and good luck with the practice.